Hello viewers, welcome again to DM Astrology. And as in a previous video, I promised you that we are going to see the series of different yogas. Yeah. So first of all, let me introduce DM Astrology. See, this DM Astrology is not mine. People are very surprised that DM means I myself. No, this channel has started by someone, and out of a love, affection, or you may say is a gratitude, he made me a hero. So everybody might be thinking that this is my channel, I'm earning so much things and I'm doing so many things. No, I am only a orator. I can't do administrative work. And for DM astrology, there are two peoples. One, you are seeing me. I'm always in the front and he is always in the back. And after a year, because it was almost a year, in the last November he has floated these ideas of starting channel and doing these things, but I always as my nature leaning the things. So then finally he said, no, you have to do this. So he's my best friend. He's a very good friend, very active person. He's a KRS. Vyas is not a USA KRS, is our Indian KRS. His full film, his full name, he doesn't want to show it, but he is a KRS. He is from the north and he is behind everything the success you have in DM astrology. Why I have to say this all? Because as the love and affection and gratitude of his, you all are taking a benefit. I too. So it's you might be getting boring about reading all these thing, listening all these thing, but this is very essential because I cannot forget the people who has made my life such a level. Now people know me by world, but this is of one man. He has dream in last November on this November 17 was his birthday. You must wish him a very happy birthday to him. And he has wished that, sir, we also having our own channel. He said me that within a 6 month we will cross 5,000 viewers. See, I'm an astrologer, but if somebody forecasts something for me, I'm also always very positive. And I have seen that within a 6 month you cross 5,000. He said within a 1 year, every 3 month, 6 month he has a target. And let me say you that due to all your response, loves and affection is really going very well. And you'll find very good events because we have just discussed very good events that will be going to announce very soon. See, there are so many other channels also there, but one thing is that people have extreme love and affection about my channel, about my views, about my. See, I'm not a god. Let me tell you, I also have a limitation. Many people say that you are like a god. You are all prediction make go right and everything. Sometimes it also made a mistake. Okay, for calculation. So I'm not a god. If somebody is writing in my viewership that he's not right, this rule should be applied. This, yeah, I have shown my views. You have always a way to check and balance. Don't fly blindly. One can follow me, but whatever I have gained the knowledge from so many gurus, and that is my tapasya of 27 years in 1989. I have started. So this is my all the tapasya, and this person, this KRS, is a very good supporter. We are only two-person who has done this DM astrology, and many time I said that let us share the third, let us take a third, four people and join the association. He said no, sir. Till my sustainability there, I will handle this. And he's doing his business. He's doing so many business, but still out of love and affection, he is doing so many things day and night for DM Astrology, and very soon you will find so many activities in under the DM Astrology. So, okay, so in views, please write something about this KRS also. He's our Indian KRS, very much in the Indian person, and ultimately supporting me in all my things. Whatever you are getting at present is all he has thought before 6 months, 8 months. Okay, so as I promise you, we are doing the series of yogas, and the greatest yoga in the Parashara has written. See, many viewers have a misconception about this yoga. See, we'll do every time a new yoga, one positive, one not so positive, or one so called as a negative. So, first of all, let me introduce one biggest yoga in our series or our BPHS is a Parivartan Yoga. See, Parivartan Yoga means interchanging of a house, interchanging of a sign. See, first of all, people think this as this Jupiter and this Mars is interchanging. They are not focusing that the simultaneously two house is also sharing. We can see the planet, so that we are very happy that Mars is sharing its views to the Mercury, and Mercury is sharing its view to the Mars. But no, simultaneously there are two houses are also changing their energies. As I told you in my previous video about yoga, that in the yoga, the best and continuous running yoga is a yoga created by the house, not by the planet. So you might be mistaken that this is created by two planets. No, this is created by the house it also. See what happened, I tell you in the brief, that suppose your ascendant lord and your fourth lord are interchanged. Means your Lagnesh and Sukhesh, ascendant lord and fourth lord are interchanged. The fourth lord plays in the first house, and first house lords sit in the fourth house. Now what do you see? Suppose it is a Gemini ascendant, or let me say that's a Virgo ascendant. If it is a Virgo ascendant, the Jupiter in the ascendant and the Mercury in the fourth house, you will say Buddh and Guru is a Parivartan, right? No, it's also a Parivartan of first house and fourth house. What happened? What's the difference between this house Parivartana or the planetary Parivartana? The difference is a result. See, if you are only seeing that the Mercury and Jupiter is interchanging, that means you have to wait till its dasha appear. Either Jupiter dasha start, or either Mercury dasha start, then only this Parivartana yoga gives a result. But no, if it is a house Parivartana, first house and fourth house, if you look at, they are continuously sharing the result. What happened to the result? The result is that if your first house and fourth house has interchange, that means you always incline towards the pleasure, and pleasure will flow towards you. You are in search of pleasure, and pleasure also, as well as searching of yourself. If there is a Parivartana of first house and seventh house, that means you are into the opposition, means you are always looking about the opposite sex, opposite person, or in the public appearance, and public also expect same thing from you. Interchange of first and seventh house. If you are seeing the first house and 10th house Parivartana, you will depend on the time, but here there is no time. That means you are always busy. Your work schedule is too much busy. You are always working 15 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours. And name also follows you. You goes to the workhouse, and work gives you a name and fame and recognition and a confidence. So this difference is there in when there is a parivartana of two house. If there is a your parivartana of only planet, it has to give result during its dasha. But no, it is a major, it is a parivartana of a house, interchange of a house, so it will be remain always. It gives you continuous result. See, in my Kendra's video, I have done with, I think it's 1.5 year before, a Kendra Yoga and prediction of a Kendra houses, whereby I said that the Kendra are ruled by the nature. You don't have to do any efforts to achieve the result of a Kendra, because Kendra is a continuity. It depends on the nature. Same if your any house is interchanging. Suppose your second house and third house interchange. That means now second house and third house is goes to the nature, and now nature give the result. This is very important, my dear friends. So here, when there is a parivartana of a house, that house become naturally, and now nature, as when as they require result, they will give. See, out of your 12 house, a 4 house is run by default setting. See, every mobile have a default setting, factory setting, reset in the factory setting. The same, your Kendra house is a default setting. You can't change anything out of the Kendra. It has to come and it has to give you result, because it's all your pleasure. You can't change your pleasure, but by efforts you can change your second house, third house, fifth house, sixth house. But Kendra's result are depend on the nature of Kendras is always called centralized. The Kendra's English version is the center. So this is the center of your life, will always continues giving you a result. So this as this fourth house. So out of the this 12 house, 33% is default setting. 33% has to be achieved by your efforts, and 33% even though our efforts you will not able to achieve. Now which are these three categories? Suppose all your kendras are the efforts, is house is called pure kendra, right? The definition of kendra says fourth to each other or going to get a pleasure. 1 to 4, 4 to 7, 7 to 10 is the kendra. The second Kendra house is 2, 5, 8 and 11. This is the second category of Kendras, which is called Panafara. Pan means after and Far means coming, which has to become after. After what? After Kendra. So Panafarstan, all your second, 5, 8 and 11th house always follow your Kendras, because they are adjoining or neighbor house to the Kendra. Result also. See, first of all, you have to be very powerful. Then only you have to look out after your family. Right? One, you have to get a pleasure, education, then you have to expect something from your children. First of all, you have to face the people, right? Of a seventh house, that's the opposite person. Then only the fears will go. Eighth house. One, you have to do so many deeds, then only there is a fulfillment of desire. 10,000, 11 house. So all 2, 5, 8 and 11 house is efforts. When you put effort, then only it will give you a result. On sacrificing of one thing, you get another thing. Like, suppose if you sacrifice in a relationship, then only you will earn the money. And if you sacrifice in the money, then only you keep the good relation. So 2, 5, 8, 11 is a Panafarasthana. Pan in a Hindi, this is a Panafar is a Sanskrit name. Pan means field, or Pan means letter, and Far means coming, which comes later on. Okay, so that is the second priority house. It only gives a result after your hard efforts, after total focus. Whereas in the Kendra, you don't have to focus. And certain house like 3, 6, 9 and 12. These are the house, even though you put the efforts, you will not able to get the desired result. Everybody try 100% efforts, but their success ratio is less. Sometimes it is more also. Third house. Everybody fight with the enemies, somebody win, somebody lose. Sixth house is same with the disease also. Ninth house, everybody do so many religious things, so many cultural and good activities, religious and spiritual activity, but everybody doesn't improve their luck. Ninth house. And 12th house, even though you try to save so many things, still you have to spend certain things. 12th house. So likewise, this house is beyond your control. It is called apokilam. Apo means half, kilam means to kill. This house kills 50% of your result. So this third house, sixth house, ninth house and 12th house are only bound to give you 50%. And that also after so much efforts. Can the 100% result, 0% efforts? Parivartana 2, 5, 8, 11, 50% efforts, 50% result. And Apokilam 50% only you will achieve, that also with the 100% of your efforts. So these are the three categories of the house. Now we will see the Parivartana. When there is a Parivartana, see in this lecture I only deals with the Lagnes. When Lagnes is in the Parivartana of either house or other house, what is going to happen? Right? Then we'll see the second house, then we'll see third house, fourth house. Each house Parivartana. There are lots of, I think there are 50, 60 yoga will be created by this. So by Parivartana, if your ascendant is doing Parivartana with your second house, now we'll start with this house. So if your ascendant lord, first of all, first Parivartana is the ascendant lord in the ascendant. See, ascendant is the first house, that's a body, and first house is a representative of a Kendras, and first house is also a representative of your Trikona. 1477, one common. 159, one common. So it's a lot of our Kendra and Trikona. If Lagnes is in own sign, that means that also itself a big Rajyo. And that person only listen himself, nothing will be doing changing in his life. So that's also first Parivartana, first house lord itself in the first house. Now if your first house lord plays in the second house and your second house lord is placed in the first house, what happened? This is also called Biya Baru 212. What happened? So as the ascendant lord plays in the second house, now he will be always involving in the financial matter, monetary matter or his social matter, and due to the involvement of his over concentration on the finance, social and the family, he is losing his own wealth, that is health. So first house and second house, if there is a parivartana, people are running behind. See, this is a house where the Kalpuru's eyes goes. See, Kalpuru's eyes goes second house, third house, fourth house, likewise. And in the 12th house, it is his feet. So what happened if the Parivartana of our ascendant lord with the second lord? Then the person will be always chasing or facing or running behind their families need, finance, wealth, everything. What do you see from the second house? He's always running behind these things, and due to which he's losing his, because the second lord plays into the 12th house, its 12th house, Bhavartabam, so he will not able to achieve. After achieving so much social result, so much finance, his health will cause. So that's the negative effect. Now see here also you have to see the planetary wise. As I had already in the yoga I described plus 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 minus 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 plus plus minus and minus minus plus. This four yoga you have to deal. If your ascendant is a benefic planet plus, and if your second lord is a malefic planet minus, then in that situation 1 plus 1 minus plus minus minus, obviously. So that is why you are facing or you are going behind this all type of wealth and relation and social, causing your own health. If ascendant lord is in the parivartana of a third house, right, if it is a parivartana of a third house, one first lord seated in the third house and third lord seated in the first house, so what happened, the person is always trying and trying, and after so much try his efforts will give him good result. This is a good parivartana because there is a 311 combination. 311 is 3 is a desire and 11th is a fulfillment of a desire. So person is always chasing, always fighting, always behind the work, behind the new deeds. Ascendant Lord in the third house, and third Lord in the ascendant. That means the result will some or the other day give you a good desire fulfillment. So one third Parivartan is very good. See, I believe that the ascendant Lord should not be sit in the Kendra. It should not be sit in the triangle, but it should sit in the 2, 3 and 11 house. Then only one is a faithful to himself. As I seen many chart where Ascendant Lord plays in the Kendras itself, then he is getting so much pleasure. His body, Ascendant means his body. His body is getting so much pleasure. Why he should struggle? Why he should run behind anything? He is getting everything by nature. If it is in the Trikona, by the time to time he is getting everything. That is why he is also not chasing, not working hard. But if Ascendant Lord in the 2, 3 and 11 house, then this person has to always put the efforts in him, and then only he will be benefited. So he will be always conscious. Right, so one third Yuti is Parivartana is very good. If first house and third house is a Parivartan, Ascendant Lord in third and third Lord in the Ascendant, very good. One is trying hard and then he is receiving also. First Lord and the fourth Lord, if it is an interchange, your Sukhis, Lord of pleasure, is in the ascendant, and your ascendant Lord in the Sukhis. Yeah, this is something we call as the people have spoiled, or people born with the golden spoon, silver spoon, whatever. There's so many sentence people speak about. So, if the ascendant Lord in the fourth house and fourth Lord in the ascendant, that means he always like all type of pleasure, and pleasure also come on every ways to himself. uh, for the people who into the materialistic world, they like this, that I am seeking a pleasure and pleasure is always with me. But those who are into the spirituality, they doesn't like. And that is why we see that so many king, so many great rulers, so many good businessmen like Bill Gates, so many people always say, I'm not seeing telling that he is having this yoga, but such a people are there. They give up so many pleasure, whatever the pleasure they have, they give up, and then also that they receive new pleasure in their life. So this is something called yoga, which always giving you a lot of pleasure, because there is a Kendra Parivartana always give a good result for material benefit. So always he is always in this pleasure, and pleasure also always search him. Good. Now Parivartana of a first house and a fifth house. If the first lord, ascendant lord seated in the fifth house and fifth lord is seated in the first house, that means all your past deed, all your deeds in the previous birth will come one by one, and physically you are going to face everything. See, whether it is good or bad, it depends on your chart. But these all things what you have done in the past life, you are going to face everything, right? So these are the changes is going to happen in your life. You'll be going to meet a person, meet the deeds which you have already been done. Fifth house and first house, ascendant lord in the fifth house, you'll able to see the things that this I have done somewhere. You'll able to realize that this bad deeds I have done in my previous life, that is why I am suffering. That's a good yoga. First ascendant lord in the sixth house and sixth lord in the ascendant. What happens? Parivartana of a first house and sixth house. See, if it is a Parivartana of first house and sixth house, means the person is such a negligent that he again and again fall into the disease. He himself surrender him to the disease, because first house is your health, your well-being, your immunity system, and sixth house is a disease, opposition. So what happened? He himself face or forced to go inside the disease, and then disease has to be cured from his body. So this is very bad. First lord and sixth lord, if is in Parivartana, means you are inclining towards the activity which leads to the disease, and ultimately then that disease has to be cured. But what happen after curing that disease? Again, you are inclined toward the another disease, and then again and again, and it's like a vicious circle, never being ending. So first house and sixth house Parivartana is not good because you always inclined to fall sick, and the sickness once it will remove, because sixth lord in the ascendant means it's placed in the 8 to it. So what happened, even though after curing a disease, again person try to incline toward that disease. Suppose, let me put in the example that suppose one person has get the diabetic, sugar level has increased. So by curing everything, he'll be reduce that sugar problem, and once it may be a control bring back to the normal sugar, again he will start taking consuming sugar things, and again he will fall sick, again he will control, again he will be in pain. So likewise it's a continuous process. Drink, those who are a bad drinker or I don't know, chain smoker or the bad drinker, even though after stopping the it activities, they will again incline toward this. So this is a bad effect of the person. Even though after a great loss, they will again do certain things, again big loss, again earning, again big loss. If there is a parivartan of first house and seventh house, ascendant lord in the seventh house, and if a seventh lord plays in the ascendant, that means you always like to face so many people, and simultaneously people also give you a good response, like our. No, I don't have that yoga. So this is like that, that the people, the person is always on the opposite person over the opposite person. He like opposite sex, the opposite person he face, his partners, as well as the person who is face like public appearance. So he loved to be a public appearance, and public also give him a good response. And see, seventh house is a very beautiful house. I like the seventh house because every planet except Ketu aspecting the seventh. Why they are aspecting the seventh house? Because it's just eye contact, eye to eyes, right? Like maybe suppose, see, I am seeing you. See, I am seeing the camera means I am seeing you, and you can also simultaneously see to me. See, very soon we are opening, as I discussed you, we are going to open so many courses like let me be a suspense, let him to be announced. So very soon people, those who are interested, immediately join that, because we are only keeping for 25 to 50 people only, because I can't handle so many people. So I'm starting online teaching also, whereby you'll be able to learn from me as you are learning at present also. So this all are going to come as we have a long discussion. So what happened that the first lord and the seventh lord, if they are interchanging, that the people like them, and he also inclined towards the crowd, like a film star, like a public person who always into the eyes of the person. So that happens. If your first lord and the seventh lord, eighth lord, is if it is in the interchange, if they are interchanging each other, that means a person always in the fear, and then after reaching to the fear, then only he become a normal. What happened that the eight is a house of fear, eighth house is a house of fear. So what happened? The ascendant lord in the eighth house means he himself put into himself into the fear, and later on that fears make him more stronger. So this is a one kind of thing that the person are taking extreme risk, even though he know that his life may cause, but still he is trying his hard, his best to it. So this is a thing that person are always inclining to take a risk. They are always involved in the high risk, and still again the risk, that risk bring him a very good success, right? So this also happens. All people that time, if there is a bad planet or the malefic planet is there, and if it is, they are interchanging, that means people try attempt to make his life end, or suicidal tendency, but still he survive. Sometimes it also happens. If your first house and ninth house is interchanging, very interesting. You're always into the religious things, you're always traveling, you're always into the work related to the education, teaching, consulting, counseling, and people also give you immense pleasure. And by teaching, you are learning. If you are Ascendant Lord in the ninth house, that means you are learning, self-learning. And this learning you have started will also continue in your next birth also. And ninth house lord is placed in the ascendant. There's a Parivartan. So first lord plays in the ninth house and ninth lord plays in the first house. Interchange of first and ninth house. That means you are always into the social activities, religious activities, cultural activities, and you also like and people also like you. And that will slowly enhance your good deeds. It will create the good punyas also. So this is a good. If there is a malefic planet, one of two house have a malefic planet, that means you have done something wrong with the religious things, something wrong with the society, and one of a day your bad deeds will come in front of you and harm you. So it either way. If your first lord, ascendant lord, plays in the 10th house and your 10th lord plays in the your first house, Parivartana of a first and 10th house. That means you are very workaholic. You like to work and work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. You'll once you sit and target that I have to achieve this level or I have to complete this work, you'll able to complete. You are very workaholic. You are always been known with your work rather than your name. And your work one by one, all the new creatures will be created by you, and that will earn you name, fame, and recognition. Okay, so 10th is a very good. People many time into the so much social activity when their first and 10th house is interchanging. They are into the deeds. So many deeds they do, but normally that deeds make him a very famous and very social, very humble. First and 10th Parivartan. If there is an interchange of first house and 11th house, first house lord in the 11th house and 11th lord in the first house, that means you are always under the pressure of your friends and your friends are taking a benefit of it. Very careful. Every friends is essential because everything you can't get from your relatives. So friends are essential. If your first lord in the 11th house and 11th lord in the first house, that means you are always behind your friends and your friends are taking undue advantage of you. See, again I am warning that I am not a god, that whatever the sentence I utter, it should be always clear. You can always write in the comment that sir, this doesn't apply in this chart, this applies in this chart, so I will be more happy, because after the so many years I come to some conclusion. So if the first lord and the 11th lord are interchanging, that means you are always behind your friends to complete your wish or your desire, but ultimately your friends win. They always pressurize you and they'll always try to fulfill their wish from you. So that is the interchange of first and 11th. If ascendant lord is changed with the 11th lord. And last, if the ascendant lord is interchanging with the 12th house, means you are putting yourself into the loss. You are spending too much on you but getting nothing in return. Sometimes it happens that people have done so many preparations, so many deeds, so many expenditure also has been spent for themselves, but could not recover, could not get a gain out of it. See, if your first house and 12th house interchange is there, there will be a lot of expenditure on your hospitalization, but ultimately you will not achieve success out of it. Many people say, sir, should we go for the risky and costlier medical things, then there will be a survival rate. I always see first and 12th house, because 12th house is hospitalization and first house is your health. So if there is an interchange of first house and 12th house, that means, see, first house lord plays in the 12th house, that means the person is like that out of all good he make everything bad. Best out west out of best and best out of west. They make everything best out of a best thing they achieve in their life, and best thing we achieve from nature is our health. So first house lord in the 12th house means he put himself into so much expenditure, hospitalization, tried to make himself very good, healthy, but it will fail, because 12th lord when placed in the first house, You cannot recover the loss what you caused to your body. So if your first lord in 12th and 12th lord in the ascendant, that means you always incline towards the expenditure on yourself, but you will never achieve. See, sometime nowadays we see that the people have a craze to become thin, as they have so much fat, they want to reduce the fat. Sometimes some things will act. As I'll give you a small secret, it's not a secret. See, if you want to reduce your weight, you have to eat during the Saturn hora. Every Saturn hora, whenever you eat, suppose in the Saturday first hora will be Saturn. Then in my hora also I have discussed this. Then after 6 hours, then after 6 hours, and at night also 6 hours. So it appears 4 times. So this is a secret. And if you want to gain your body, you have to eat during Jupiter hora. So by every Jupiter hora, after say 5 hour, 6 hour, after 6 hour, whenever the Jupiter hora comes, you eat something that will add the protein in you. So likewise, if their first lord and the 12th lord is interchanging, that means you are going to face so many things for your body, but your body cannot be recover out of it. So it will be always. So be prepare yourself first. If your ascendant lord in the 12th house or 12th lord in the first house, you have to always alert about your health, because some of the other time without your knowledge something will come out suddenly. Okay, so this is all about the first house and ascendant interchanging with the other houses, and other houses lord are interchanging with the first house. So this is the first part of the Parivartana Yoga. There might be a 3-4 more videos of a Parivartana Yoga. A second lord seated in the third second, then second lord in the fourth house, second lord in the ninth house, ninth lord in the second house. Many people ask so many questions. So that is why first of all I choose that Parivartana Yoga. It's a Parivartan of a house as well as a Parivartan of a planet. Parivartan of a house continues give the result. As I told you that first house lord is seated in the 12th house, your body is always inclined toward the disease, and disease will not able to cure from your body. So this is an interchange of a house as well as interchange of a planet. Suppose the interchanging planet Dasha appear, see, not in the transit it give result, but if the Dasha appear, then that dasha is very important. If two good house interchange is there and the dasha of a one house lord is appear, it will activate both the house. And if there is a one mahadasha is there under which the others antardasha will be there, very good time. Suppose the ascendant lord mahadasha and fourth lord antardasha comes and both are interchanging, this is a crucial time of all kind of pleasure you will going to enjoy. So if dasha appear, well and good, but if the dasha doesn't appear, still you have a parivartana yoga, still parivartana continuously working in your chart. So just focus on the parivartana and see to it how it works. Okay, so in the next video we'll learn how the second law, third law, fourth law, then we'll group four house, we make a group, because ascendant is very powerful. So you have to do, first of all you have to learn, understand the parivartana of this house. See, this parivartana also can be seen in the D9 chart also, but in D9 chart this will be a very minutely result. Internally you will face certain things. It might not be happen externally, but internally that two houses interchanging gives you a lot of pleasure. So in D9 or all other divisional chart also you can able to see. Dasha applies on the Parivartan Yoga, no transit applies. Okay, so this is about the ascendant Parivartana. We will be going to continue the other houses also, and very soon there will be a declaration of my various courses, and you'll be enjoying so many new things in DM Astrology, because now that other person who's behind this parda, this curtain, there's a very strong person behind this curtain. So this person now wish to do DM astrology into a new dimension. So I also have to work. I don't have any words. I can't say no to him. Okay, so but it is a benefit of you. Don't worry. So all listeners, do share my videos. If you like my videos, press the like button. Also, spread this in your